Hello, and welcome back to Mr. Anderson Plays Detective Jake Hunter, Seaside City Conspiracy. It's chapter number 2 in this game right here. And just don't mind me, I am adjusting the audio here because when I do streams, my audio settings are a little bit different because you need to be able to hear the other speakers. But today it's just me. Yay, yay, yay. Luckily I noticed that my audio was not recording, and you probably wouldn't have heard me before, and at least I noticed before I did the entire episode, and everything was screwed up. Anyway, last time with Detective Jake Hunter, we found out that the Barackans were running some kind of smuggling ring, probably to do with guns, and Mr. Holloway and Eva were somehow connected to it. Also, the Chinaman had come up in conversation, might be having some kind of connection to it. And we found out, just before the Chapter 3 ended, that someone was killed holding a gun with no barrel on the docks. Was it Mr. Holloway? Who knows? Let's get on with the show. A man holding a gun with no barrel had been killed on the docks. The cops had turned up as a stash of similarly gutted guns in my client's hotel room. Holloway had taken off before the cops showed up, and they had a warrant out for his arrest. The warrant was because he had a bunch of guns, legal guns on his possession. However, today, in our day and age, they would plead some kind of amendment and probably get away with having a bunch of guns. In America, at least. Before he disappeared, Holloway had called me and said that if I found Eva, I should take her to sue. Could that be the Chinaman? With Holloway gone, it was going to be a lot harder to convince the police I needed to be poking around. File 4. After telling me about the dead man at the docks, Sharp had taken off, but it looked like he'd come back. How's it look, Sharp? It's a real mess down there. We still haven't gotten an ID on the stiff. That's not nice. Great. Calling him a stiff and everything. Letting yourself stew over this isn't going to help anyone. Least of all you, Hunter. Just give it a little while, and we'll have some answers soon enough. Yeah, I know. Oh, right. There's someone who wants to talk to you. Could it be Sam? Who? Didn't I tell you about the lab tech King sent over? Hey, Mr. Hunter. There you are. Hello, baby. And Yulia, too. Good to see you. Her arm must get tired from holding her glasses like that all the time. Oh. Hey, Sam. Heard you were looking for me. A pleasure as always, Miss Martin. This is awkward. Hello. Oh, that's not real nice, Mr. H. I thought you'd be happy to see me. Sam worked in the crime lab back in Hospicio. I'd met her through King. She's a bit of a strange duck, but she sure knows her stuff. Now, this game was originally released separately from the first one, so that's why they're giving her an introduction to Sam. A little bit of an introduction, because if you didn't play the Petty Murder of Fragile Heart, then you wouldn't know who Sam is. Alright, now that I've got you two settled, I'll be heading back to the crime lab. I'll let you know if anything comes up. You kids play nice now. Thanks, Sharp. Well, he's sure in a hurry, isn't he? What did I want to do? Let's talk to Sam. I guess we're not going to call her Babe while Yulia's around. Why is she here? So, Sam, what brings you to Depono? Sharp told me King sent you over here as some kind of backup. Backup? Yes, well, I guess you could say that. Come on, Sam. What the hell are you talking about? Sorry. I think King sent me over here to be backup, Mr. H. You gotta be kidding. Well, crime labs are always understaffed, aren't they? Even my lab back in Hospicio could use a few more guys. But I guess King thought it was more important for me to be here to help you out. Isn't he just a sweetheart? I see. The shooting. Alright, Sam, what can you tell me about the shooting over at the New Gold Grand Hotel? Well, I was in charge of the forensic investigation of that whole deal, so I guess I could tell you just about everything. Oh, the gun. Tell me about the piece. Well, I think it might be a Tokarev Model 213. That's a Chinese knockoff of a Russian Tokarev pistol. I can't really say for sure at this point, but judging by the scoring on the bullet, I'm about 99% sure that the gun that fired it was a Model 213. The Model 213 is made by Noriko, the state arms manufacturer over in China, but we've been seeing a lot of them on the black market lately. Interesting. Word around the station is that someone's trying to bump you off, Mr. H. That true? Yeah, it's looking that way. Well, be sure to watch out then, okay? Be careful of. Anything I should watch out for, Sam? Well, the street piece for the Model 213 is a lot lower than most guns for sale right now. But it's a real powerful weapon for the price. It was a military-grade gun back around World War II, you know. No, Sam, I didndidn't know that. Well, then you just learned something. The more you know. Bing! It even has stronger penetrating power than the infamous .44 Magnum, which can make analyzing gunshot wounds more difficult. You know who else has a lot more penetrating power? Mr. Clean. What were you thinking I was going to say? Pervert. However, it can only hold 7 bullets, 8 if one round is chambered, which is somewhat less than most modern-day firearms. The gun itself is awfully light, so it's got a real kick when you pull the trigger. High power and deep penetration, and a 7-round clip. Sounds like a pretty serious business, Sam. What did I want to talk about? Let's talk about the shooting scene. What did you find at the hotel? Near as I can tell, there was one assailant with one gun. Based on what I saw and heard, I don't think they were trying to kill you, Mr. Holloway. Kill you or Mr. Holloway? You're saying it was just a warning? Hell of a lot of lead for a warning. Well, if he really wanted to kill Mr. Holloway, why not go into the room and shoot him? No, the only reason why someone would just shoot holes in a door like that is to scare someone. Unless they're just an idiot. I hadn't considered that. Man, just a little brutal. Anything you can tell me about the suspect? Not much, I'm afraid, Mr. H. Looking at the pattern of gunfire, I would say the shooter probably wasn't used to shooting a gun. Most people who haven't fired a gun before just keep shooting until their clip is empty. Yeah, makes sense. The door looked like Swiss cheese. Samantha and I were in the middle of discussing guns and the shooting thereof when Julia spoke up. Oh, Detective Sharp. Hey, Hunter. We just got a little bit more info on the body over at Agri. Give it to me straight, Sharp. Not Ben or Gay. Things are still pretty crazy down there, but it looks like the stiff wasn't from around here. They found an ID on his body that marks him as a Baroccan sailor. Baroccan? Your stiff wouldn't happen to be a sailor from Los Carpos, would he? Yeah, as a matter of fact, he would. You want to tell me how you know that? Well, that was the ship my client was served on. Holloway? Interesting. Well, the gun the poor guy was holding was another one of those Chinese pistols your man was hiding. Great. Okay, so it wasn't Mr. Holloway who was shot and killed. Great. Looks like this incident probably has some kind of connection to your Mr. Holloway. Looks like I'm probably going to have to be here all night. But you kids ought to head back to your hotel and catch a little shut-eye. I'll give you a call if anything new turns up. Thanks, Sharp. Awfully sharp of you. I'll let you know if I turn up anything. Thanks, Mr. Hunter. See you around. I watched Sharp trudge off down the hallway. Well, looks like I'll be up all night myself. I'm up all night to get lucky. I'm up all night to be lucky. I'm going back to the lab. See you later, Mr. H. Thanks for the info, Sam. Alright, so let's move back to the hotel. Nowhere to go but here. Yulia and I left the station, heading in the direction of the hotel. It'd been a long day, and I was hoping to catch a few winks before we got back to work. Tired and sore from a long day's work, Yulia and I finally managed to drag ourselves back to the hotel. You tired, babe? Yes. You weren't kidding when you said there'd be a lot of walking. And there's going to be more tomorrow. So, you be sure and get some sleep, alright? Oh, I'm sure I will, sir. Hey, I'm glad you stayed. You're a big help today, babe. Well, I'm glad you came to your senses, sir. As far as I was concerned, there was never any question that I would stray. I wish there was boob physics in this game like Police Nuts. I'm sure there wasn't. See you tomorrow, dollface. Yes, sir. Sleep tight. I didn't want to go to sleep. I felt too much like doing nothing. But I also knew from the experience that even detectives need their sleep. And if I didn't get some, I wasn't going to be much of one. And I'm going to take a sip of my orange juice. Good morning, sir. Did you sleep sleep well last night? Let's talk to Yulia about the case. Well, sir, we sure get a full plate, don't we, babe? Where do you think we ought to start? Well, I keep thinking about the name Mr. Holloway mentioned when he called you. You're talking about Sue. Yes, I've been thinking about that too. Alright, that settles it. Time for us to figure out the identity of the mysterious Sue. Ready for another day of hard work? I always am, sir. Well, with a name like Sue, they're probably Chinese. Yes, that sounds likely. Alright. Well, you think of anything Chinese we've seen on this case, what three things come to mind? First, the shipping route. The shipping route of the Los Carpos. Los Carpos. Mr. Holloway's ship. Next, of course, is... the guns. The pieces used at the two crimes were manufactured in China. And lastly, what else came to mind? The unknown caller. The guy who showed up at the bar, Fjord, asking questions is probably the same guy who told me to back off the case. Remember? There's no way all of this is just a coincidence. You're right, sir. That does make sense. There has to be a connection. You just may be onto something. There's got to be a connection between Sue and all these Chinese stuff, because he's Chinese. Maybe we should go check that out. Hopefully he does not go pee-pee in my Coke. I knew there was only one place to go in Depono for the Chinese angle. The Chinese connection. I figured that would be the best place to start. What did I want to do? Let's move to Chinatown. Chinatown, Jack. It's only Chinatown, Jack. Yulia and I headed toward Chinatown. My sister, my daughter, my sister. I hadn't been in Depono long, but I was already starting to feel at home on its streets. I pulled out a cigarette and lit up as we walked. I wasn't quite sure how to feel. When I was a smoker, I didn't like smoking in large crowds, especially like walking around when someone could be in front of me or behind me. I mean, I just thought it was rude to sort of like blow smoke around me while other people could get hit by it. I don't know. It's weird. I wasn't quite sure how to feel. We'd finally gotten a lead on the mysterious phone call, but my client was on the run from the cops and they still haven't found Eva. There we were, back in Chinatown. If Sue really is Chinese, this place is probably our best bet. Alright, let's hope we can turn something up. Let's inspect around here. Store clerk, that's new. Lady in a store, wow, another typo. A lady in the store next to us was selling rice dumplings. Rice dumplings. Love me some rice dumplings. She looked like she was probably Chinese and spoke with an accent. My goodness, she's been around since I was a girl. She might be a good person to talk to you about going-ons in the Chinese community. Wait a minute, she said since she was a girl? What are you now? Well, I guess, yeah, she's a girl. She's not a girl anymore, she's a woman, blah, blah, blah. Talk, Yulia. Come to think of it, I heard about something when I was still living in Depono. The rumor was that a single man essentially ran Chinatown. Who runs Bartertown? He had his fingers in everything, and nothing happened in Chinatown without a say-so. If that's true, he'd have to know damn near everything that's going on in Chinatown, including anything about our friend, Sue. I think his name was, yes, his name was Master Lin. Master Lin? Isn't that a girl's name? Correct. Well then, it looks like Master Lin is our new most wanted. In fact, I did have a gentleman I used to work with named Lin, but I think it was spelled L-Y-N. I don't know why you would name your kid that, your boy kid that, but hey. Alright, let's talk to the store clerk. Master Lin. I heard that there was someone around here called Master Lin. What, are you a businessman? Businessman? I guess so. I do have business with him, if that's what you mean. Then you should go to the Emperor Guan Temple. He's always sitting in the VIP seat. Thank you. If you have something to ask him, you need to bring a gift. A gift? Why am I giving her a Russian accent? Fuck that. What do you mean?
Master Lin is very strict when it comes to proper etiquette. If you want him to do something for you, you need to bring the gift.
I'm sorry, I'm butchering this. The gift. What does Master Lin like? What kind of gift should I bring him?
You should give him cigarettes.
Oh, I got them. Plenty.
Here, buy these and bring them to him. They're cigarettes from China.
Cigarettes? Well, hey, whatever you say, ma'am.
Looks like the two of you have something in common already, sir.
Alright, ma'am, I'll take it back.
Thank you very much.
I pick up the cigarettes. They weren't a brand I recognized, which was an impressive feat. The Emperor Guan Temple. I'm pretty sure it was the big building in the center of Chinatown. I guess we're gonna move. Guan Temple. Guano. The Emperor Guan Temple is a temple dedicated to the worship of Guan Yu, one of China's most famous generals. Yulia later told me that he was defied during the Sudanese, and is revered, was revered as a god by most major Chinese religions. Yulia and I had arrived at Emperor Guan Temple. I hope we could find this Master Lin if he existed. Inspect? Around. The lady at the store had told us he spent most of his time at the temple. Unfortunately, it appeared that Master Lin was not the only old Chinese man who liked to hang out at the Emperor Guan Temple. How on earth was I supposed to figure out which one he was? Just scream out his name. Old men. I took another look at the old men sitting around the temple. No dice. Still had no idea which one was Master Lin. Damn it. This place is full of old geezers. We're never gonna find Master Lin.
I'll admit things don't look very promising, sir. Maybe we should see if that lady from the shop would be willing to come back here with us and identify him.
Hey, that's not a bad idea, babe. Maybe if you buy some... Hey, wait a second.
What's the matter, sir?
I was turning to leave when I noticed something strange. Most of the people in the temple were over 60, but one off in the corner were a number of... But off in one corner were a number of younger guys. Hold that thought, babe. I think I may be on to something.
Really, sir?
Yeah. Take a look at that guy over there. The one standing next to that pillar.
Well, he doesn't look very friendly. I don't think he's a tourist.
No, he's not. He's the old man's bodyguard.
Bodyguard?
Yeah. This Master Lin is a pretty important fellow, right? He sounds like the kind of guy who'd have bodyguards to me. A few more minutes of observation revealed that there were quite a few tough-looking men scattered around the temple. Any good bodyguard keeps an eye on the body they're guarding, so I knew if I just kept watching them. Eventually they'd show me Master Lin, who's right there. He's wearing the beanie. He should have a little spinner on top of it. Shit. Just my luck. The crazy old man who gave me the ridiculous Chinese history quiz. He was Master Lin.
Sir, what's the matter?
Nothing. If you didn't see that coming, you're pretty thick. Looks like the geezer over there is the man we're looking for. Let's see if we can talk to him. Master Lin. So you're Master Lin. I need to ask you a few questions. Oh, ho, so we meet again. Pretty sharp for an old geezer. Maybe he wasn't as crazy as he'd seemed at first. Answer me these questions 3. I'd spoken too soon. No way, old man. No more of your quizzes. Then you shall not receive the answers you seek. With a sniff, he turned away and went back to doing whatever old men do in the Emperor Guan Temple. I wasn't sure what to do next. I needed answers, but I was damned if I was going to play along with his quiz. Let's hand him some cigarettes. Give. Because we needed to give him a gift anyway. I handed the cigarettes to Master Lin.
Ah, I see. Very well. Young people these days have no manners, but perhaps you're different. You may speak.
Master Lin shifted in his seat and looked at me expectantly. It looked like I'd finally gotten the old bat to start talking. What did I want to do? Let's talk to Mr. Lin about Sue. Do you know a person by the name of Sue? He's probably Chinese, but he's been here in the U.S. recently.
I might, but I will tell you nothing to you. You are American. I am an outsider.
Come on, I answered your quizzes. What more do you want from me? Throw me a bone here. There is a life at stake, sir. Please help us. Yulia and I did our best to summarize the events of the past few days. As what we were saying began to sink in, I could see the old man begin to consider.
Very well then. You've convinced me your heart is true. You shall have what you want. Seek. This will help you find Sue.
The old man pulled out a pen and paper and wrote something he finished off with what I thought was an unnecessary flourish. I reached out to take it.
I was not talking to you. This is for the young lady.
He pushed my hand aside with a sniff and handed the piece of paper to the surprised Julian.
You are quite beautiful, my dear. You look just like my mother when she was young.
That's rather odd to say to a woman. Not what I would use as a pickup line. Okay, Julia blushed as she took the piece of paper from him. I tried to steal a glance at the note the old man had given her. I could only see part of it. It looked like it was a set of 10 digits starting with 714. Could it be a phone number? Or an address? The numbers. What the hell is this supposed to mean?
You are clever, man. You figured it out.
Thanks. Come on, what's going on? There you go. Sorry, I'm having some issues here. I told Master Lin thanks and gave him a bow.
You have some pretty good manners for an American man.
Alright, let's try using the phone. I'm thinking it's probably a cell phone number. Yes, use Marcy. I pulled Marcy out of my pocket. A 10-digit number that starts with 714-8675309. Call it for a good time. That has to be a phone number. Yes, that makes sense. What do you say we find out who number this is? I punched in the 10 numbers and pressed call. After a few rings, I heard someone pick up. Is this Sue? My name's Jake Hunter. I'm a private investigator. Holloway told me I should get in touch with you. So you are the detective Mr. Holloway hired. Wait a minute. You're the chump that called me the other day. Who the hell are you? Not the best way to open up a phone call. I cannot tell you that. All I could say is that I'm on your side. You must trust me. Sorry, buddy, but I'm gonna need a little more than that. You're really with me. Prove it. Let's talk man to man. I'm in Chinatown, what do you say? Whether you believe me or not is up to you. But let me tell you this. You're the next target. Be careful. The moment the words were out of his mouth, the line went dead. I called him back a couple of times, but he didn't pick up. It looked like that was all I was going to get out of him. His parents picked up and said that I should really stop calling at this time of night, or they were going to call the cops. So this Sue character says I'm going to be the next target. Then he was. No, I don't think it was a threat. I think he's just trying to warn me. I don't think he's in a position to be making threats. Is that right, Master Lin? Clearly, Master Lin had better things to do than answer my questions. I wasn't too worried about myself. I'd been in some pretty serious trouble before, but I was worried about Yulia. Master Lin, do you think you could look after my assistant for a while, until I've taken care of some business? She frightens easily. Wow, we're really just pushing her off on other people. Look, Master Lin, do you think Yulia could stay here? Things are going to get pretty dangerous when I go out there, and I don't want her getting hurt.
Very well. I will take care of your lady friend. I do not want her to be hurt while she is in my town.
Alright, babe. You're going to have to stay here for a bit. I'm serious this time. I gave Master Lin another bow and headed for the exit. I told myself I couldn't turn around. I couldn't be worrying about Yulia. She was going to be fine, and I had bigger fish to fry. I had no idea who targeted me. It's kind of presumptuous of him to just hand her off to someone that he just met. I was going to have the hope that I could draw them out, get the drop on them before they iced me. As I walked down one of the Chinatown's emptier streets, I felt the air on the back of my neck stand up. I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being watched. I looked around, trying to spot whoever was following me. Were they the ones who Sue had told me about? I needed to make a move before they realized I was onto them. Move. Let's do this like we did before, the back alley. I headed into one of Chinatown's back alleys. I ducked into an alley, resisting the urge to peek over my shoulder to see if I could spot my pursuers. If I was going to lure them into a trap, they couldn't know I was onto them. Pretty soon, I hoped they'd come running around that corner in hot pursuit. I'd be ready for them. My hope was that this would confuse my pursuers and send them running around the corner straight into my trap. Of course, they were smarter than I thought and played it safe. I'd be up Schitt's Creek. I didn't really want to think about that. I'd only just managed to hide myself when a shadow turned the corner into the alley, bringing me face to face with... You're... Mr. Hunter. Man, yeah, the sharp lady. The person I've been trying to desperately to trap was none other than Iris Hart, the receptionist from Baraccan Consulate. Why are you following me? What are you doing here, kid? Somehow, I don't think this is a coincidence. Mr. Hunter, Come on, kid, you better just spit it out. Because right now I'm a little worried you're working with those killers. Killers? Like the band? No. I was just worried about Eva. Eva? Now, why would you be worried about Eva? I mean, aside from the fact that she's gone missing, of course. Eva was worried about Mr. Holloway, the stuff he was into. She thought that maybe if she disappeared for a while, it might scare him back to his senses. Now, hold on just a damn minute. Are you saying you've been talking to Eva while I was out busting my ass trying to find her? Yes, I know. I'm sorry. She's not really missing then. Look, I'm sure you had your reasons for doing what you did, but it's time you start telling me the truth. Now, why did Eva do all this? She was hoping it would scare Mr. Holloway, bring him back to his sense. I think she just wanted him to stop. Stop what? And what was Holloway doing that Eva thought he should stop doing? I don't have time for beating around the bush, kid. Holloway's in some pretty serious shit right now, and for all I know, so is Eva. Well, I don't really know the details. Eva never told me that much, but once or twice I did see him. What Iris saw... What did you see, Mr. Holloway and Consul Busk? Damn, I didn't think he... No, not like that. I saw Mr. Holloway talking to Consul Busk and some scary-looking men in the consul office. I got the feeling they were talking about something they didn't want other people to hear. Eva and Mr. Holloway got into a fight after that. They were talking about smuggling. Alright, I understand what's going on with Eva and Holloway. But you still haven't told me why you were following me. I've lost contact with Eva. She called my cell phone 2 days ago from where she was hiding. Was she calling from a cell? No. I think the batteries in her phone were dead, so she used a landline near her hiding place. I told her that a private detective was looking for her. I haven't heard from her since then. After Mr. Holloway was attacked and that sailor from Las Carpas was shot, I didn't know what to do.
Where is Eva? Do you know where Eva is?
Yes, she's... I remember thinking, I can't believe it's going to be this easy. When a clap of thunder shattered the silence of the alley. For a moment, I just stood there like an idiot, my brain trying to figure out what just happened. As the second blast tore through the air, I finally recognized the thunder for what it really was. Gunshots. Ah, shit, is she dead? I heard the second shot slam into what sounded a whole lot like a human body, as Iris shuddered. Ah! I caught her as she fell and dove for cover. You alright, kid? Nothing. No, this is just average stuff for Camden, at least. Her back felt warm and wet. There was blood everywhere. Where are you going? Where are you, goddammit? Get out here, you bastard. Let's inspect the vicinity. Well, it looks like we have an Iris down. I looked desperately around the alley, trying to figure out where the gunshot came from. It didn't take long. Look at this guy's face. He's got one of those butt chins, the Jay Leto chin. 3 ugly sons of bitches walking down the alley towards us. A wisp of smoke trailed out of the barrel of the gun. The one in the middle had pointed at Iris and me. It looked like Iris hadn't been the only person following me. What do I want to look at? Iris? Her shirt was already soaked with red blood, and I could feel her strength ebbing as I held her. Men. The only thing they had in common was that they were all ugly as sin. Alright, let's, talk to the men. Who the hell are you? What'd you have to go and shoot her for? She's done nothing to you. The asshole brigade continued its inexorable approach. Sorry, pal, the bullet, it went a little off target, you see. I was only trying to scare her, you know. Hey, wait a minute here. You look like the chump who's been hanging around Busk. You think you're some kind of detective? Shut your yap, greaseball. What did you just say? Who the hell do you think you are? You can have it out with me later. Gotta get this girl to the hospital. I don't think so, pal. You better lay off the thinking, buddy. You ain't so good at it. Hey, don't make fun of me. I'm smart enough to kick your ass. If she doesn't make it, you're gonna have a lot more to worry about than whether or not you can take me, Buster. You got a lot of guts for a punk with a gun in his face. I don't like this guy's mug, boss. Let's take him out. Whoa. We don't want to make a mess now, do we, boys? You already did. Iris's life was pouring out on the sidewalk while I argued with the three goons. I need to get rid of them, and fast, so I can get her to the hospital. Come on, guys. Let's talk this out. We are in the same line of work, after all. What? Hey, what gang you in? Well, you can't tell. Come on. Besides, this ain't good. We ain't ready to take on another gang. The idiots are always the easiest to manipulate. I thought they were pretty hard-boiled just because they were packing some heat. It was time for a lesson in humiliation. We're gonna fight. I was only going to get one chance, and I knew this was it. I leapt at the one holding the bean shooter. I heard his jaw crack as my fist connected with it. Yeah, he dropped to the ground like a sack of bricks. I turned toward the remaining two thugs. They were about to learn just how much pain a man could dole out with his mitts. My mitts. I hadn't even begun to pay them back for what they'd done to Iris. They still had too many bones and less than 2 pieces. Shit, scram, boys. Damn it. The alpha thug had recovered faster than I predicted. Hey, boss, wait. Don't leave us, boss. The 3 of them scrambled down the alley like eggs, trying to desperately get away from me. Bad move. Get back here, assholes. I'm not done with you. I'd only taken a step down the alley after them when I remembered Iris. I couldn't leave her alone. The thugs would have to wait. I was going to make sure they got theirs, but right then, Iris needed me. I ran back towards her when someone shot past me. Is that the man I've been talking to over the cell phone? What the hell? Before I could even get a look at the strange man, he was off down the alley after the men who'd shot Iris. Interesting. Iris. You alright, kid? Iris. She wasn't responding, and I could feel her body starting to cool. An ambulance. I need to call an ambulance. Alright, let's get Marcy out and call an ambulance. Hopefully she has insurance, because this is going to be one expensive ambulance ride. There was no time to waste. Frantically, I dug out the Marcy out of my pocket and dialed 911. But I could tell Iris' strength was ebbing, and her breathing was getting weaker. Wake up, kid. Iris. Mr. Hunter, Oh, she doesn't look as sharp as she did before. I like this drawing of her a little bit better. Hey, don't talk. You need to save your strength. Mr. Hunter, please take care of Eva. She's the kind of person who would risk her life to save someone else. She saved me many times. This time I wanted to help her. Mr. Hunter, please take care of Eva. Hey, don't say that. You can still help her. We'll help her together. Stay with me, kid. Stay with me. Iris! Iris! She wasn't responding. I could feel her body temperature falling. As the sirens to the ambulance drew nearer, all I could do was watch as Iris's life drained from her body.
I watched her die. I couldn't do a damn thing.
Sir, what happened? I had a hunch something bad had happened, but this... I climbed on the ambulance with the paramedics as they lifted Iris in.
Yulia, go to the police station. Sharp needs to know about this.
Yes, sir, of course. Her last few words were lost as the siren started up again. I slumped down on the floor of the ambulance, numb. The noise of Initium Street fell far away. All around me were people, most of them talking, but I didn't hear them. I felt her die in my arms. I let my guard down, and Iris had paid for it with her life. Some detective I was. Sir? I could hear Yulia's voice drift through the hum of the background noise. Mr. Hunter, I guess Iris didn't make it.
Nope.
Look, Jake,
It's alright, Yulia. I'm fine. Iris is gone, but this case isn't. The guy who put a bullet in her is still out there. Unless we do something about it, I'm not going to be the only person crying over a dead friend.
You're right, sir. Oh.
What is it?
This fell out of your suit when you were getting into the ambulance. Oh, maybe that Chinese dude slipped into my pocket when he ran past. It looks like it's a pin of some sort. I was thinking maybe it belonged to one of the men that attacked you. It might have fallen off during the fight.
Yeah, I suppose it could have. Thanks, doll. I think you just may have found our next lead.
You're welcome, sir. It's nice to see that you've regained your professionalism. Jake, I know I can't begin to imagine what it was like in that alley, but don't blame yourself. You did everything you could.
You worry too much, dollface. I just needed a little while to get my head back on straight. But thanks. I knew Yulia was too smart to buy that act for long, but before she could question it, Sharp came to my rescue.
Heard you jumped the guy with a gun, Hunter. I'd let the son of a bitch shoot me in the chest if it would bring Iris back.
Well, it wouldn't, so don't go and do something stupid, alright?
Alright, look. Standard police procedure says I should take you into the back and make sure I got your story on paper. We're both busy men, Hunter, and I don't want to waste my time on that shit any more than you do. How about we just swap info and get back to work? We can do our little due diligence later.
Sounds like a plan, Sharp.
Alright, you first, Hunter. Tell me about the men who killed Iris Hard.
Sharp, the incident. I told Detective Sharp what happened in Chinatown. The strange man, the thugs who followed me, Iris. I don't know how long I'd been going on when I noticed Sharp motioning me to stop.
That's enough, Hunter. I just got one question for you. As he spoke, Mr. Sharp pulled out a pistol and handed it to me. Are you sure this was the gun they shot Miss Hart with?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Is this?
Yeah. Tucker Up Model 213, same as the ones Mr. Holloway had. Sharp suddenly looked very, very tired as he put the gun away.
Alright. I'll get the full story from you when things have settled down a bit, but I'm guessing you got a couple questions for me right now.
Yeah, the pin. What's the pin all about?
It looks like some kind of Yakuza lapel. I pulled out the pin Yulia had given me and showed it to Sharp.
What the hell is this?
Or a triad, might be a triad pin. I think one of them dropped it during the fight. Yulia said it fell off my jacket when I got into the ambulance.
Alright, let me take a look at it.
Huh?
Mean anything to you?
Yeah, this is a rank pin from the Sharks.
Like the ones from Earthbound?
The Sharks? Bunch of street toughs. They weren't much until recently. Barely organized enough to call a gang. And dumb as dirt. But they've been popping up more and more lately. It looks like they're starting to carve out a little piece of Deponer for themselves. Could this have any connection to Gygas? Really? I was finally starting to see the big picture. There was a connection between the consulate, the Sharks, and the guns. I was sure of it. We're going to have to take this. Go ahead. I don't need it. Make sure you have Sam take a look at it. What about me? Sam? Shouldn't you be busy with an autopsy? Oh, that can wait a moment. Mr. H, I thought you were here, and I thought you might be able to use these. As she spoke, Sam reached into her bag she brought with her and pulled something out. These are... I know it's probably a little hard for you to look at them, but... Mr. H, I thought they might be helpful.
Eh? suspect... the belongings. Most of her stuff wasn't going to be much of use to me. And to be honest, I didn't want to look at it any longer than I had to. But she did have a memo pad, a business card holder, and a cell phone and a set of keys. I stood there for a moment staring at them. I tried to focus on the case, think about the facts. But one of the facts was that Iris was dead. Iris was dead because of me. Hold on, that was it. I think I know where we can find Eva. Good thinking, sir. How the hell do you plan to do that? The cell phone. She said she called her. Are you serious? Even I couldn't find anything. Because I'm serious. Iris said something to me in that alley. I don't think she knew it then. But I think she gave me the clue I need to crack this whole thing wide open. Well, stop patting yourself on the back, Mr. Hunter, and tell us what the hell you're talking about. Don't get impatient, Sharp. The cell phone. Her cell phone. The cell phone? Well, I'm sure it was Eva's phone number saved on it, but I had a cell phone once, but I sold it. Why did I sell it? It said so on the box. Didn't Mr. Holloway already try to call her? I'm pretty sure he did. But there's something only Iris and Eva would have known. Spit it out already, Mr. Hunter. How's that going to help us find Eva? Well, there's something all the cell phones have, and one in this cell phone is going to tell us how to find Eva. The log. The incoming call log. What the hell are you talking about, Mr. Hunter? Iris told me that Eva had called her several times after she disappeared. The last time she called, she was calling from a phone near where she was hiding. Ah, so if she was calling from a hotel lobby or a convenience store or something, the phone number would be in the incoming call log on the phone. Exactly. In that case, before I could stop her, Sam grabbed the phone out of my hand and took off down the hallway. What the hell are you doing, Martin? I can't trace the number. I can trace the number from my laptop. Give me 3 minutes. I'll be back in a jiffy with location for you. And that was that. She was off. King sure knows how to pick 'em, doesn't he? Found it. 1-800-FAT-CHICKS. There was only one call in the past few days that wasn't made from a cell phone or payphone. It was 2 days ago. A call made from a landline in Kunai. This must be it. She shoved the piece of paper in my hand. I wrote down the phone number and address for you. Think you can handle the rest, Mr. H? Sam, you're a real peach. Ever consider working in the private sector? I'm sure Miss Martin prefers working in the environment where she is treated with respect, sir. Oh, damn! What are you talking about? You get all sorts of respect. Really? Then, what would you say to me accompanying you to Kunai? Oh, come on, babe. That's different. It's going to be dangerous. It's going to be just as dangerous for you, sir. If you really do respect my abilities, I can't think of any reason I shouldn't go. Because come on, Sam, help me out here. What are you treating her like that, Mr. H? Yuli's a big girl. She could take care of herself. Can you honestly say you've gotten this far on the case without her help? Has everyone dyed their hair blue around here? It's cute that you're looking out for her, but you two aren't in the line of work where you can skip out of the dangerous stuff. Arrgh! Sir? Alright, fine. Just watch yourself, okay? I don't want you getting... Just be careful, alright? Of course, sir. This isn't my first time, you know. Let's get going. Let's go to Kunai. It's all the way across town, jeez. I had that itch in my brain telling me that Kunai was where the pieces were going to fall into place. I just hope they wouldn't hit me on their way down. Wow, listen to this music. I feel like I'm playing like Ease on the TurboGrafx. Yuli and I had arrived in Kunai, ready for a showdown. That address Sam gave us should be around here somewhere. Inspect. Around. There's a church, too. Kunai was really more of a suburb, although most people saw it as part of Depono. It's about as close to a rural as you could get in the city limits. This is definitely giving me Ease vibes, this song. The street where we were on had a church and some kind of shop. Church. An old rundown place. It looked like it was probably only used for weekend services at that. Take a look at the church, babe. Looks like it may be a good place for someone to hide for a while. Man, this is awesome, this song right here. Wonder if I can get it on the OST. Move.
church. Get me to the church on time. The church seemed like the only place that could offer a decent hiding spot. As we moved closer, I was able to read the address on the side of the building. It matched the one Samantha had given me. It was cleaner inside the church than I expected from the outside, but there was a layer of dust on everything. Somebody's been here. Look, there are footprints all over the floor. What is this, Scooby-Doo? Looks like they're all from a single person, though. Time to see where the footprints would lead us. Okay, inspect the room. It looked like someone had been living there for a few days. There was a classy travel bag in one corner and a briefcase. They sure didn't look like the kind of luggage a bum would be lugging around. Sir, this bag. Travel bag. Sure enough, the bag was full of makeup and women's clothing. Divine's been living here. But even more telling, it also contained a photo of Mr. Holloway. Looks like this was Eva's little hidey-ho. The briefcase. I pulled up the briefcase. Didn't look like the kind of thing a girl like Eva would pick. Shit. Oh no. Sir? Is that what it looks like? Is that a gun? The briefcase was packed full of metal pipes. I got a bad feeling about this. They look like gun barrels, probably Model 213s. Just as Yulia were about to get back to her search, I heard the crack of a very familiar gunshot from outside the church. So, was that what I think it was? It came from the back of the church. Let's go. Let's move out back. That's a fitting place for someone to die. A graveyard. At least you don't have to move very far. Alright, sweetheart. I need you to go back out the front and call sharp. What about you, sir? I'm going out back. Understood. Be careful. I know it's hard for you, but try not to do anything stupid. Damn, that was a real roundabout way to call me stupid. I'll bring backup as soon as possible. Don't worry about me, babe. I got it covered. The moment Yulia was safely outside, I crept out the back door and slowly pushed it open. As I approached the cemetery behind the church, I heard a familiar voice. Holloway's. Stop it. Leave Eva alone. Hey, boys, he's telling us to leave her alone. This guy's funny, eh, boss? Hey, come on, Holloway. Don't you see the position you're in? We don't want to hurt you or the girl, but for guys that's been chasing, you're not very careful, aren't you? Meeting up with your woman like this. You didn't even know you was being followed. Guess you wanted to see her pretty badly. I'm jealous. Shut up, you knuckleheads. Look, Holloway, how's about you give us back our merchandise and we don't fill that head of yours with lead? I recognized the men roughing up Holloway. Ah, so he was taking the barrels so they couldn't smuggle them. They were the same rat bastards who did the shot Iris. It took all their strength I could muster to keep from jumping them then and there. What did I want to do? Inspect the situation. I didn't know the guy from Jersey Shore was here. I ducked down behind the tombstone and underbrush and tried to get a better view on what was going on here. I couldn't make out three men standing with their backs to me. They were the same men from the alley in Chinatown, the one who killed Iris. Just past the gangsters, I could see Eva and Holloway. Holloway was doing his best to look tough, but he was scared shitless. Come on, Mr. Holloway, just give it up. I got a gun, you don't. You really think you're a match for me? Let's steal up. Using the cover of gravestones and overgrowth, I made my way towards the sharks, hoping to escape detection. This is a pain, boss. Let's just kill him. That sounds good, boss. Yeah, I guess so. Just kill him in front. Kill him and find the stuff, okay? Yourselves. Yeah? Whatever he just said. What do you think of that, Mr. Holloway? Sound like a good plan to you? While they jeered, I jumped quickly to new cover, close to the gap, to about 30 feet. Metal Gear Detective. Please, don't hurt Harry. Man, he's really small compared to her. Hey, lady, shut up. We're trying to talk man to man. Don't worry, lady. We'll take care of you later, right, boss? Uh-oh, Mr. Holloway. I can't hold him back forever. What do you say, Mr. Holloway? I crawled along the brush while they laughed at Holloway. Now they were only 20 feet away.
Alright, let's fight him. We're in prime striking distance. I didn't have a choice anymore. I launched myself in the bushes at the bastards. I'd miscalculated. I was still a couple of yards when they spotted me. The boss spun around and leveled his gun at me. All I could do was watch his finger tighten on the trigger. Oops, I heard the crack of a gunshot. To my surprise, the impact I'd braced for didn't come. Instead, I felt a rush of air as the bullet whizzed by my head. He'd missed. It was nothing but dumb luck that I wasn't dead, but I wasn't about to complain. I leapt at the men. Damn it! As the son of a bitch tried desperately to reload his gun, I sunk my fist into his jaw and felt him buckle. It was a good feeling. At least he buckled up for the ride. Arg! Boss! You! Give him my 1-2 punch. Oh, it's on now. Arg! The gangsters became tame. They hadn't stood a chance. They'd gotten away before. I wasn't about to give them a second chance. Mr. Hunter. Nothing like a good fight to get the blood moving. You kids all right? I took a quick look at the kids. Aside from the pale faces and some serious sweating, they looked fine. As I bent down to pick up the gun, the chief thug had dropped. And man, everyone's shooting guns. I heard the familiar report and felt a bullet whiz by my ear. I was starting to get tired of being shot at. Shit, I missed. I spun around. Oh, is that the Brocken consulate? You! Dude, you gotta do something with that porn stash, bro. Hello, Mr. Hunter. The man holding the gun trained squarely at my chest was none other than the Brocken consulate, Robert Busk. Shit. What did I want to do? Talk. Busk. Why he's here? Why am I here? I'm here because the men you just beat the stuffing out told me to come here. You're the ringleader, huh, Busk? I prefer the term organizer. Smuggling. So I was right. It was you behind the gun running. Man, they always talk about everything. Like, they shouldn't be talking. They should just kill the detective, but I guess, again, that wouldn't be much of a game, then. What the devil are you talking about? How dare you accuse me? Oh, come on, boss. Drop the ask. I know everything. You've been smuggling with the Los Carpos for quite a while now, haven't you? And not just anything, mind you. You've been smuggling plenty of guns, Christmas ornaments, heat, steel, bean shooters, penises, guns, Chinese handguns specifically. A gun called the Tokara Model 213. You don't have a prayer of wrangling your way out of this one, Busk. You've got one right there in your hot little hand. You think my hand's hot? Ugh, but you're not as stupid as you look. You know that even with diplomatic immunity to grease the wheels, smuggling guns was a risky business. So you decided to be safer to bring your guns to the country in pieces. Now all you needed was someone to run your errands. It was Mr. Holloway. Holloway and the sailor from the Los Carpos that was killed the other night were moving the merchandise for you. How do you know so much? Things were working out pretty well for a while, weren't they? All that expensive junk in your office tipped me off. But it wasn't long before someone threw a monkey wrench into the works. I think we both knew who that was. Eva. Your personal assistant, Eva Christina. She figured out Holloway, her boyfriend, was involved in something illegal. She was trying to get Holloway to leave smuggling business. Am I right? Yes, you're right. I stole the barrels because I hoped it might make him think about what he was doing. So it was Eva. Where the hell are my barrels? I looked all over your apartment, but they weren't anywhere. So you're the one who ransacked the apartment. Things must have been pretty bad for you to stoop to that kind of thing. When you didn't get the goods you've been promised, I bet you were pretty pissed. So you told Holloway to give you the handguns completely assembled, guessing that Eva had the barrels. Of course, Holloway wasn't going to give up on his girlfriend to a man like you. That was when he hired me to find her. Killing the sailor from Los Carpos was just another attempt to threaten Holloway, wasn't it? You should have quit while you were ahead, Busk, before you became a murderer. The incident at the hotel was one of the gentlemen's for the Sharks, not me. After Mr. Holloway ran, I killed the sailor. Mr. Holloway needed to understand that this would happen if I didn't get what I wanted. What? What's so funny? If they'd taken the time to look around the hotel room, you'd have your guns now.
What? What? You mean the guns were in the hotel room?
Busk is now played by Rip Torn.
Damn. I should have gone myself and made sure.
Busk was still muttering to himself when I heard the faint sound of police sirens from the front of the church.
What? Oh, Hunter, you fool.
Shit. He was on to me. I tried to keep him talking until the cop showed up, which I managed to do. I just haven't really thought about what I was going to do after that. They should have been no sirens. Just lights. I'm sorry, but I'm afraid I have to kill all of you now. I may have slipped up this time, but I'll start over. There are other smuggling opportunities. Busk raised his gun. Eva! Harry! I could see them holding each other tightly, as if good enough to grip on another person would save them from a bullet. I wasn't going to let Busk kill them. I didn't care what it took. I owed Iris that much. Then it happened. I saw a man around the corner of the church behind Busk, and I ran towards us. And he ran towards us. Hey, here I am. Getting Busk's attention was a good plan, but he was too far away. There was more than 50 feet between Busk and the strange man. You're Rio Husu. Oh, okay. I watched Busk's gun swing around in a wide arc to point at a visitor. Maybe Hisu is like some kind of detective. Sue? There was no way he could get close enough to disarm the consul before Busk got a shot off. I had to do something. Yell in charge. I yelled at the top of my lungs and charged at Busk. The consul's eyes flickered to me for a moment. I heard the crack of a gunshot, but the man running across the cemetery didn't stop. It looked like I'd startled Busk with a yell. It'd been enough to make him miss. Happy I was for the running man. The rest of us were still up a creek. The consul apparently decided that I was the bigger threat, and turned the gun back towards me. I had the feeling he wouldn't miss this time. Nice try, Mr. Hunter. For that, I think you'll be the first to die. Well, at least I wasn't going to have to worry about my car payments anymore. I didn't think you'd have to worry about car payments. You better watch out. You'll go blind. Rubbing your palm that bloody. On the one moment, the gun was in Busk's hand, aiming its deadly payload at my chest, and the next it was gone. I didn't care where it had gone. All that mattered was that Busk didn't have it anymore. It was payback time. Busk, gone. Let's tackle him. With the table suddenly turned, Busk was smart enough to try and beat a hasty retreat. Try being the operative word. Ugh. Consul Busk lay on the ground in front of me unconscious. That's what I call a job well done. Sir! That was fast, babe. Well, I was worried that if I left you alone for too long, you'd go and get yourself killed. So how bad are you hurt? Any broken bones? Did you manage to get yourself shot this time? Worse than that, I think. Worse than that, I think I've ruined this suit. You alright, Mr. Hunter? Ah, sharp. I guess you're the ones who shot Busk's gun, huh? Well, I sure didn't want him shooting you. That's paperwork I don't need. I'm just glad you were here in time. You've done a great deed, Mr. Hunter. Just who the hell are you? My name is Rio Husu. I work for the Chinese government. I was right. I have been aware of Mr. Busk's smuggling operation for some time. Thanks to you, I think I might finally be able to put him into custody. Guess that makes sense. I suppose I owe you one, Mr. Rio. Ugh! Looks like the bastard's coming too. You have diplomatic immunity. We've caught you in the act, but international law says we can't touch you. Just the same, we need you to come back to the station with us. We need to have a little talk about the gun you've got. Sharp passed the still woozy Busk off to one of his men, who led him into the back of his cop car. Well, Hunter, I think I'll be on my way. When he realizes what's going on, he's going to have one hell of a hissy fit. Give me a call later. I still need a proper deposition from you for my report. Damn DA read me the riot act when I tried to turn in an incomplete one. Sure thing, Sharp. What is it? I'm Holloway. I don't think Mr. Sharp here knows anything about Mr. Busk's side business. I imagine he would be very interested to know about how Mr. Busk acquired his firearm. Yeah, I've heard a few rumors that the consul was involved in something illegal, but I'm pretty sure I haven't heard he was smuggling guns. Now I'm pretty sure I'll get the truth out of Bus sooner or later, but in the meantime, if someone were to turn themselves into the DA, perhaps someone would be able to detail Bus's entire operation. I think it's entirely possible that the cooperation would be looked on favorably. If such a person exists, of course. Perhaps you know someone who fits that description, Mr. Holloway? Thank you. You should be thanking Eva. I watched Sharp climb back into the police cruiser, a small smile on his face. And Iris. There was still one thing I had to know. Holloway, how the hell did you figure out where Eva was? Well, after I ran away from the cops at the hotel, I remembered something. Eva told me that she used to help out at a church in Cuney. Damn. I guess you kids must be pretty close if you can remember something like that. Put two and two together. Now about Mr. Sue. The words were barely out of my mouth when the man himself stepped in. During the course of my investigation, I learned of Mr. Holloway. I was in the process of securing his cooperation. When I received your phone call, I became concerned. I went to Chinatown to follow you. Unfortunately, I was too late to help you or Miss Hart. I'm truly sorry. Don't beat yourself up about it, Rio. It's not your fault. What happened to Iris? You're making it sound like she... I'm sorry, Eva. It's my fault. If I'd been more careful, she'd still be... What? No! Eva let out a gut-wrenching sob and collapsed. I couldn't blame her. Mr. Hunter, this is all my fault. I'll swear I'll make it right. I swear I'll make up for all of this. I wanted to tell him that if he figured out how to make up for the murder of an innocent girl, he should let me know. I'm going to Inisham Street Police Station. Perhaps we will meet again. And then he was gone. End of a case is never easy. A detective only ever comes into someone's life when something goes wrong. Even if I solve all the mysteries and catch all the bad guys. Whatever that was doesn't go away. This time a girl was dead, and a good man was going to jail. Sure, I didn't solve the case, but I was finding it pretty hard to feel good about it. But I was going to have to deal with that later. Yuli was a trooper, but even for a dame like her, this case had been tough. Who was I kidding? It had been tough for both of us. Not that we'd ever let the other see it, though. Alright, sweetheart. Figure it's time we get back to Spicio. Starting to miss being able to taste the air. She turned to look at me, and for a moment, I thought I saw a tear, but then it was gone. Of course, sir. The air in Depono certainly doesn't have much character. You know, babe, this case got me thinking. Depono ain't a half-bad town. Clear air aside, I kind of think I'm starting to like it. I figure you know more about it than anyone else I know. So do you think you could show me around for educational purposes? She smiled, and any hint of the fleeting tears disappeared. Of course, sir. I'd be happy to. Aww, she's smiling. Until next time, Seaside City Conspiracy complete. Well, that's another case closed. Pretty dry case. So it turned out that Busk had a little bit of a side job, smuggling Russian counterfeit pistols into town. His smuggler, Mr. Holloway, had a change of heart after his girlfriend was withholding the poon. And Mr. Holloway didn't like that, so he was trying to get his guns back. Shut and dry case. I wonder if we will meet Mr. Hisu again. But that'll have to wait until next time. I hope you guys are enjoying. If you are, please leave a like, a comment, and subscribe, because it makes me feel good. And make sure you have a good night. Good night.